What's going on, YouTube? Jimmy C. It's been maybe 2 weeks. I'm back. Got a bunch of books to show you guys, some artwork. You know the drill. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's kick it off. My good friend John sent me these. It was a belated Christmas gift. Just, you know, a little. I sent him something, and he didn't have to, but he felt that he wanted to send me something too. But he sent me this Marvel Tales Classic Spider-Man McFarlane. I knew he liked Miracle Man, so I had a Miracle Man #1. I don't know, something like 3D something or other, and I had 3D glasses included in it, and I had them, which was pretty cool. So I just sent him that as a, you know, just what's up, how you doing? It's a kid I know from high school. It was my good friend in high school, and you know, we went our separate ways 20 years. And then he's got a love of comic art too, and we just like crossed paths. I actually wrote him on Instagram. I didn't know who it was. He was posting all this cool art, and I'm like, "Hey, you got nice stuff." And he saw a few pictures, and he, you know, he said Jimmy, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And it was my good friend from high school, and we've been talking again, hanging out. We both love Popeye, so he sent me a nice Dell Popeye issue. And last but not least, cool Golden Age, the Barker. I don't know, some Big Mama. But you know what? Pretty cool gifts. What else? What did I get? I got this. This is a speculation book. I was just trying to think of like cool characters that haven't been exploited or blown up yet. So I thought this character was pretty cool. From when I was reading X Factor maybe 5 years ago. Her name's Monet. She was on X Factor. I thought she was like a cool character, sassy, whatnot. So I looked up her first appearance. It was Generation X, #1. So it's also the first appearance of Generation X, but of course sometimes it's murky. She was going by Penance at this time, so it's the first appearance of Penance, but her real name is Monet St. Croix or something like that. And she's like super strong, and like I think she has like some psionic powers or whatnot. But I remember enjoying her character when I was reading X Factor, when Multiple Man was running the show, and they were kind of like a detective agency and running around town. So anyway, her real first appearance is issue 40 as Monet St. Croix, who she really is. It's like wrestling, sort of, like, you know, sometimes they take on roles and they play characters, and if it doesn't work, they reboot themselves. So I guess whoever thought her up as Penance, it didn't work, so they just rebooted her as who she was, Monet St. Croix. So there you go. I bought these on Nucadia. All 6 issues I got for about $26 total. So I said, screw it. You know, I was hanging out one night. $26. It's a speculation, but yeah, you never know. And, you know, whatever. Either way, it's a cool book to have. Moving on, I saw these and I went online, I bought them. Even though they're anti the man, I still wanted to get them. How the Trump Stole Christmas, pretty funny. And then I also got the foil version. Yeah, you know, one of the few times I'm a sucker for a variant. But they're pretty cool. They weren't too expensive. And last but not least, they did a Hulk 1 cover swipe. This has been done a few times. The one from New York City Comic Con is big money. I tried to get it. I couldn't get it. But this is from Antarctic Press, I believe. They're really nice. They forgot to send me one of the copies I got 2 of. So I wrote them, and they called me back. But one shitty thing, though. They sent me these books in a manila envelope with no board or nothing. Like, I don't know how they didn't get damaged. But, you know, like, your full-time job is, from Antarctic, is making and mailing comics and variants. You would think they would ship them the proper way. So I didn't argue with the guy. I just let it go. Luckily, I got them all, they arrived the right way. Just throw this up. I have a story to tell you guys. I was going back and forth if I should talk about it, because it has to do with another YouTube member, and I said, you know what, I'll talk about it. I just won't name names. Let me just throw up. Let me just throw this up. It's cool role playing. So as a YouTuber, you know, I know him a long time. You know, he's bought stuff off me. And there's a book I wanted, and he has 4 copies of it. So he didn't want to trade or sell one to me, which is fine, you know, whatever. If you're a little bit of a hoarder, I don't know. If a friend wanted something and I had 4 copies, I think I'd let one go. But that's besides the point. So I know there's multiple prints of this comic, so he knows about it. So I found this comic for sale. So I showed him a picture, and I'm like, hey, is this the first print and everything? Before I make an offer and spend some money, I just want to verify with you because you know what you're doing with this book. And he goes, yeah, it is. So then he's like, oh, where you find that? I said thinking nothing of it because it's established and he knows I want this book. He doesn't want to trade or sell me one, and I'm trying to find one. So I said, oh, it's on eBay right now. And we left it at that. So then I tried to buy the book because it was the first print, and it got run up over $100. So I backed off because I wanted to get it for like $100. That's what it's worth, I think. So then, like a week later, he says, "Hey, what happened with that book on eBay?" I said, "Oh, I let it go. It went for over $100." He goes, "Oh yeah, I got it." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Why would you do that? You know, like comic book etiquette 101. Like, if you want something or your friend wants something, you back off." So like, never mind that. If I didn't tell him it was on eBay, he wouldn't have even known. So I'm not like losing sleep over it, but like it fucking pisses me off a little bit. It grinds my gears, in the words of Family Guy. So I just wanted to share with you guys. I'm not naming names. I'm not even naming the book because people could kind of figure it out maybe. So, but anyway, I don't know. I think it's pretty effed up, and the guy like doesn't even think nothing of it. Like he's not like. That's what's a little more annoying. Like, oh, I didn't know you didn't know I was bidding on it. Like, okay, even if you didn't know I was bidding on it, why didn't you say, hey, listen, I want it too. What are you doing? Are you going for it? Like, just common courtesy. It's like digging in a long box. You don't go in a box that someone's digging in. There's comic book etiquette, and especially among people who are friends or whatever. But, all right, moving on. I feel better. This is cathartic. So I've been picking up like Dungeons and Dragons shit and role-playing stuff. This guy has it. So I got this here. I don't think it's worth much. It's still in the wrap, but it's a little, the shrink wrap's peeling. Flash. I grabbed this. Oh, it's still brand new. Buck Rogers, High Adventure Cliffhangers. I don't know. It's a role-playing game, I'm guessing. It's just... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. So remember the Star Wars book had a hole in it from last week? So I brought it back, and I got these 2 things, and I got another Dungeons and Dragons module, but I actually just sold it, so it's wrapped up. So you see what I did? See, like, the guy didn't have stickers on the stuff, so I went back to him. He thought I was going to spend money, so he's giving me good prices on stuff, because if you're going to spend money, he gives you good deals. If he knew I had a book to return, because this had no price on it, I said, how much? He goes, oh, for you, $5. If I had shown him the book that I was returning, the Star Wars Boba Fett with the hole in it, and he would have never gave me this for $5. He would have been, oh, $20. So I had to play. It's like a chess game. You gotta play your cards right. So I got the books I wanted. I said, oh, how much for this? He goes, $5. So it added up to $15. And I said, oh, hey, not for nothing. The Star Wars I paid $15 for. It has a hole and the staples popped. He couldn't believe it, but he took the stuff back. And, like, everything was fine. Like, I know this guy for, like, over 2 years, and he's a dealer, and I used to, like, hang out with the Judas at the shows, so he knew I was, like, sort of a dealer and whatnot, and he knows I know everybody. And he's like, did you switch this book out on me? And, like, I was dumbfounded. I said, Joe, are you effing kidding me? I said, you think I'm gonna jump through hoops and rook you for $15? I said, near mint, the Boba Fett's maybe $30 book. I said, are you crazy? I said, you think I don't got better things to do? I said, $15. Are you, what? And, I guess because he's an older guy, they just got a penchant for thinking people are trying to screw them over. But, I said, Joe, I'm a little offended, but honestly, I would never do that. And, he seemed like he was okay, but whatever. Not for nothing, the Dungeons and Dragons book I got, I tell you, I'll get you guys, if you can find Dungeons & Dragons modules still in their shrink wrap from the 80s, they go for big money online. I can't believe it. 2 books I got from him for $5 each. I sold one for $65, and the other one I sold for $1.25. Those are, staggering returns on investment. So it's crazy. Okay, let's see. Last but not least, let's wrap it up. So I bought a book. I bought this I found this guy on eBay. I've had 2 copies of this, and I sold them both, and I'm like, well, I guess because it was a 9.6 and one was raw. I really wanted a 9.8, but this is from the Star Wars one, you know, when they printed like 70 different copies of #1 when they rebooted. So Star Wars 1, this is the Party Sketch John Tyler Christopher variant. I loved it. I don't know why. It was like each comic book shop only got like 1 copy or something or other. Anyway, the guy had this for like a score. It was like $50 on eBay. And I'm like, that's a pretty good price. So I reached out to him on Facebook. I got it for $40 shipped. He's from Canada. Dungeon Comics or whatnot. Something like that. Nice guy. So I know it's coming from Canada. So I waited like 2-3 weeks. Nothing. I said, let me write this guy. So I wrote. I said, I know he forgot. So I wrote him like, hey, what's up? Where's my book? He was like trying to say, oh, da, 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 but like later on that day, he goes, I'm so sorry, I forgot to send it. I said, I figured. I guess he's used to, you know, a lot of comic people are wound very tight. And he was expecting me to go crazy and bitch and moan. I said, oh, it's okay, things happen. If you could just get it out, and you know, in the next few days, I'd appreciate it. Just send me tracking so I know it's on its way. And he was dumbfounded at my response, and he couldn't believe it. He kept saying, oh, what do you want? What do you want extra? I said, oh, I don't want anything extra. I said, if you want to throw something extra, dealer's choice. Give me whatever you want. But if you don't want to, it's fine. Just send the book when you get... Because it was $40 shipped. I think it's like, you know... I don't know how much it's worth, but it's worth more than $40. On eBay, they go for like 80 to 100. And long story short, I love doing that. Like, you know, for Secret Santa, or if someone's going to send you something, dealer's choice. Because, like, sometimes they send you shit you don't even know you'd like. And look what he sent me. He sent me Vader #1. I don't know what variant or whatever. Maybe it's just the regular issue. Vader #1, and then he sent me the matching Darth Maul. Both near mint. They're so awesome. They're so nice. I'm not even going to read them. I'm going to go look them up and read them online. And I guess that's it. Oh, you know what? Not that's it. Oh, my God. I forgot the big kahuna. The guys on eBay probably know already. But you know me. I'm a big Goblin fan. I'm original art, Goblin. I'm all in. I got an affinity for Green Goblin stuff. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. Dan Slott's final storyline is Green Goblin. Green Goblin's going to become Red Goblin. He's hooking up with the Carnage symbiote. I don't know the whole story. I think he lost his Green Goblin powers or whatever. So, I got this page. This is where Osborn is delivered the Carnage symbiote. So, like, it's building up. You know, it's not like the best page ever, but like the significance of the story is, this is like, you know, for this story, it's big. The splash page right after is like insane, and I missed out on it. I tried to get it, but to no avail. It was already spoken for, and they can't just double sell. But like, how cool! It's by art by Stuart Immonen, and inks by like Von Gray, Von something or other. He's got a big long name. You know, he's been on Spidey for a while. He's taken off the next issue, but then he'll be back to to wind it down and do like the last 3 issues before they hit 800. I don't know what are they before they hit 800. And that's it. Jimmy C signing off. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Hope everyone's doing well, and you like my stories. I don't mean to bitch about people, but you know, I like to keep it real on my channel. You know, I don't name names, so no harm, no foul, and it's cathartic and fun. And hey, you know what? That's about it. Take care, guys.